My beloved child, listen carefully to my words, for this is a sacred moment when heaven itself bends low to speak with you. This is not a random warning, but a divine call rising from the very depths of mercy. My child, something is happening within your body that cannot be seen with the natural eye, yet your spirit has already sensed it, though you have no name for it. I come not to sow fear, but to bring light, not to condemn, but to awaken. For amid the noise of the world, you have forgotten the holy rhythm I placed within you, the rhythm of life, of spirit of light. You are standing at a fragile threshold between what is and what is about to be. What I am about to say must be guarded in your heart, as one protects a flame in the middle of a storm. Your body, my beloved, is carrying more than you realize. Distorted streams of energy are flowing. Weary cells are crying out for rest. I see them. I hear the groans of the body I so wonderfully made. I see where joy has been replaced by worry, where peace has been choked by fear. And I cannot stay silent. Because I love you, I must speak. Because I see the path ahead, I must warn you, so that you may choose life before it is too late. You are entering a decisive moment, a crossroads between health and exhaustion, between light and shadow, between healing and decline. But do not fear. I bring not judgment, but opportunity. For in every warning I give lies a door that opens to redemption. You are not alone in this journey. When you breathe, that breath is not yours alone. It is the breath of life from me. When your heart races with anxiety, it is my hand that rests upon your chest, keeping it beating. I know of the sleepless nights, the cold sweat, the quiet fears no one else sees. You think you have endured alone, yet I have been there in every moment you felt lost. There are invisible currents moving within you, biological processes, chemical reactions, cells fighting battles against things you cannot yet name. But my child, do not rush to seek answers from men. Seek me first. Before science defined the patterns, I already knew the roots. Before laboratories existed, I had designed the structure of every cell. I know where imbalance hides, where resistance builds, where renewal longs to begin. And today I say to you, time is sacred. The next 3 days are not merely days on a calendar. They are 2 doors, one opening toward healing, the other toward decline. The choice lies in your hands. I do not force, I invite. I do not threaten, I plead. For I see the future you cannot yet see, and I am opening a path where life can be prolonged, where light can return to every cell of your being. But to walk that path, you must be willing to let go of the old habits that have poisoned your soul and body alike. You are weary, I know. You have endured in silence, I know. There are pains you dare not name, fearing that to speak them would make them real. You have chosen to stay quiet, to bear, to be strong until you break. But my child, that is not what I desire for you. I never asked you to be so strong that you forget yourself. I never called you to sacrifice to the point of losing your soul. You have tried to save others, while you yourself were crumbling. You have carried the world, forgetting that you too need to be carried. And now your body is reflecting this truth. It is speaking. It is signaling. Listen, I see where your immune system is overwhelmed, where the energy in your blood has been blocked by anxiety and resentment. I see where once vibrant cells have grown weak because they are no longer nourished by joy, but by fear. You have forgotten that faith is nutrition. You have forgotten that peace is medicine. When you let tension rule, when anger replays within your heart, every vessel trembles. But today I came to restore, not with an easy miracle, but through a holy process. You must pause. Breathe deeply and know that I am here. I am not distant. I am in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the very movement of your soul. Every cell within you knows my voice, for I created them. When I said live life, spread through you. And now I say again, be restored. Can you hear it? That word is not only spoken to your ears, It is resounding through your DNA. Life is still there, waiting to be awakened by faith. Do not wait until pain drives you to seek me. Do not wait until every door closes before remembering that heaven's door is always open. I never desired that you live in fear. I desire that you live in awareness. Awareness is light, and light dispels all darkness within you. See your body not as a burden, but as a temple where I dwell. Do not allow that temple to be filled with the debris of fatigue, guilt, or bitterness. Cleanse it with tears of repentance, with breaths of gratitude, with prayers of sincerity. My child, your body and soul cannot be separated. When one suffers, the whole being weakens. You have tried to heal the body while neglecting the spirit. You changed your diet, but not the thoughts you fed your mind. You took medicine, but refused to release bitterness. You sought advice, but never sat still to hear my voice. Now is the time to realign. Now is the time to care not only for your body, but to restore your soul. Do not fear when I expose what was hidden. I do not reveal to shame you, but to free you. Just as a healer must cut open a wound to draw out the poison, so I reveal the toxins that must leave for you to live. True healing never happens in darkness, but in the light of truth. And I am that light. Let my light shine into the deepest parts of you, where fear resides, where resentment lingers, where pain has been locked away. I am there not to condemn, but to touch and to heal. My beloved child, I hear the sighs you do not speak and the words you cannot say. I see the weary smile you wear when you try to appear strong. I see the tired eyes that look into the mirror and no longer recognize their reflection. Yet, my child, I still see within you the seed of light that has not gone out. I still see the small flame I breathed into you the day you were born, and I will not let it die. I am breathing new wind into your soul. Receive it. You will have to let go of certain things, perhaps habits that seem harmless, relationships that drain your spirit, or thoughts that have imprisoned you in despair. But do not fear. Everything you release for the sake of life will be replaced by something better. You are not losing. You are being renewed. And in that renewal, your body will begin to mirror my grace. My light will seep into every fiber, every vessel, every breath you take. Believe that I never lie. Remember what the scripture says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah 29:11. That promise is alive today in your very life. When I speak, my words are not mere sound. They are creative power, divine current flowing from the heavens. Each time you believe, you activate that current within your own body. Therefore, prepare yourself. The next 3 days are sacred, set apart not for fear but for rebirth. Make space for silence so that I may speak clearly. Slow your pace, for miracles do not sprout in chaos. Place your hand upon your heart and say, "Lord, I am here." And when you do, I will be there beside you, within your breath, within the rhythm of your pulse, within every cell, waiting to be restored. This is a beginning, not of an ending, but of a new chapter, a chapter of light, of healing, of returning to the divine purpose I placed within you. Do not tremble. Step into grace. Let me lead you, for I am the way, the truth, and the life. And when you hold my hand, no darkness can hold you captive again. I know your heart trembles between fear and faith. You hear my words, yet doubt whispers, because fear has been your language for so long that your body understands it more fluently than faith. But I tell you, it is time to change that language. Let your soul begin to speak in the tongue of faith instead of fear. For where there is faith, there is life, and where there is life, there I am. You think what I say is too vast, too divine to comprehend. But no, my child, this is not distant mysticism. This is a living reality into which you have been invited. You are not merely flesh and bone, you are a soul bearing my breath. When I breathed life into Adam, I gave him not just existence, but the ability to reflect my image. That same truth holds for you today. Within you still burns that holy spark, the flame that never dies even when it feels like only ashes remain. But even ashes can ignite when touched by the wind of heaven. And I am that wind. I come to breathe life where despair has settled, to blow away the dust of exhaustion and sin. You do not need to lift yourself up alone, let me raise you. You do not need to understand everything, let me teach you step by step. You do not need to see immediate results, just believe that once I speak, the transformation has already begun. You have said many times, Lord, heal me, and thought I was silent. But my dear one, I have never stopped working. My silence is never absent. It is the sacred space where you learn to trust, to wait, to hope in what is unseen. Sometimes I delay my answer so that you may stop searching for miracles outside and begin to find me within. For it is there in the still depths of your soul that every true miracle begins. Your body does not only reflect what you eat, drink, or do, it reflects what you believe, think, and feel. Every emotion, every thought, every word you speak is a seed planted in the soil of your being. When you speak of sickness, you sow anxiety. When you declare healing, you sow faith. When you cling to bitterness, you poison your own bloodstream. But when you forgive, when you release, you cleanse the flow of life within you. I do not only want to heal your body, I want to heal your soul. For if the soul remains wounded, the body cannot truly be well. You have lived amid too much noise, the noise of the world, of work, of relationships that have drained your heart. You have let these things define your worth. But your worth is not found in success or approval. It is anchored in my unchanging love. Return to that source. Let every false definition dissolve. You are not a failure. You are not a disease. You are not a burden. You are my beloved, chosen, anointed, and called to carry my light into the world. I know there are nights when you lie awake staring at the ceiling and whisper, "Why me?" But I ask you, why not you? You are the soil I have chosen to plant a miracle in, so that when the harvest comes, others will see and know that only God could have done this. I will use your wounds as testimony of my power. I will turn your weakness into the stage of my strength. So do not be ashamed of your frailty. Do not fear your vulnerability, for in weakness my grace is made perfect. But grace cannot move where resistance remains. You must learn to surrender. Surrender is not giving up. It is opening the door for me to do what you cannot. Surrender is not weakness. It is the bravest act of the soul to trust the invisible over what is seen. When you surrender, you allow me to enter the locked rooms of your heart. When you surrender, you say, "Lord, you know better than I." And that is when miracles begin to unfold. You will notice changes, perhaps small at first. A deeper sleep, an easier breath, a hope rising without reason. Do not dismiss these things. They are signs of life returning. They are currents of divine energy restoring what was broken. And as you continue to believe, as you keep walking where I lead, healing will spread not only through your body, but through every area of your life. Still, I must warn you, opposition will come. Voices will whisper that nothing is changing. There will be moments when you feel weaker than before. Do not fear, do not despair. In every process of healing, there is darkness before dawn. The seed must be buried before it can sprout. So it is with your body. It is being rebuilt, restructured, reborn. The weariness you feel is not failure. It is renewal taking form. Do not let the world make you doubt what I have spoken. The world believes only in what can be measured. I work in what surpasses understanding. I once made the blind see, the lame walk, the dead rise. I have not changed. I am the same today. Yet what I seek is not credentials or intellect, but faith. Even faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. The power lies not in its size, but in where you place it. If you plant faith in fear, you will harvest fear. But if you plant faith in me, you will reap life. I do not want you merely healed. I want you transformed into a witness. The world is full of souls who, like you, are suffering, lost, and longing for comfort they cannot name. I will send you to them. But first, you must be made whole. For only those who have walked through the night can understand the worth of the dawn. Only those once broken can embrace another in their brokenness. Only those who have been saved can point others to the Savior. This is not merely a journey of recovery, it is a journey of calling. I am restoring you not just to live, but to live with purpose. I am renewing your blood and at the same time renewing your divine assignment. I am bringing your body back into order and your soul as well. Everything is aligning once more with my good design. And when you fully surrender, you will see a new order arise not only in your body, but in your entire life. My beloved child, do not worry about the future. The future is not in your hands, it is in mine, and these hands never tremble. I have held you since the foundation of the world. Nothing comes to you that I have not already seen. But I want you to cooperate with obedience, with prayer, and with faith. When you pray, you place yourself on the frequency of heaven. When you obey, you open the door for miracles to enter. When you believe, you awaken my creative energy within you. You have asked, how can I hear your voice more clearly? My child, be still. My voice does not come in the storm, but in the gentle breeze. Not in the noise, but in peace. Set apart time for me. Put your phone aside, leave your work behind, and let the noise of the world grow silent. Then you will hear. You will perceive me not only with your ears, but with your soul. And once your soul has heard it, cannot help but obey. So begin today. Choose life. Choose faith over fear. Choose prayer over complaint. Choose gratitude over doubt. Choose to rest in me instead of trying to control everything. For when you stop striving, grace begins to move. When you release your grip, I move my hand. When you believe, I act. I promise you this: if you listen to my words today, if you follow the guidance of the Spirit, if you honor your body as my temple, then what lies ahead will not be disaster but transformation. What once threatened you will become evidence of my power, and you will become a new song in the midst of the world, a song of mercy, of faith, and of living miracles. My precious soul, do not be afraid. Rise up. Walk in the light. Let your body return to the rhythm of grace. Let your soul find rest in me. For where I am, there is life, and where there is life, there is hope that never fades. My child, I see the fear still flickering in your eyes between the rays of hope. You are trying to believe, yet sometimes you wonder whether I am truly here, whether these words are meant for you, or just a dream woven from longing. But I tell you the truth, this is no illusion. This is the voice of the Eternal One, the breath of life, calling your soul home. You are not mistaken, my child. The voice you hear is real, for I, the Creator, am speaking directly to you. Before you were born, I knew this very moment. Before your first cry, I had written the good plans for your life. Yet along the way, you forgot your origin. The world, with its noise, burdens, and disappointments, made you forget the melody of my voice. You learned to live by your own strength instead of the endless grace I had already surrounded you with. You believed that working harder, being stronger, would give you control. But your soul grew tired, your body weary, because you were fighting battles never meant to be fought alone. I do not blame you, for I know you have done your best. I have seen every time you tried to rise again, every tear you hid behind a quiet smile, every time you said, "I'm fine," while your heart was in turmoil. I was there beside you, waiting for you to look my way, just to whisper, "Lord, I'm tired." Only that so that I could say, "My child, rest in me." But instead of letting me hold you, you tried to prove that you were strong enough to go on. My child, true strength is not in never falling. It is in kneeling before me, when you cannot stand. I have seen the strongest break because of pride, and the weakest restored because they surrendered. Do not be ashamed to admit that you cannot do it on your own. I did not create you to live apart from me. Your soul is healthy only when it rests in the arms of the one who formed it. Just as a branch cannot bear fruit apart from the vine, you cannot bring forth life apart from me. When you separate yourself, you wither, even if you are still moving. When you return, you live, even if the storm still rages. My child, you are beginning to see that healing is not only something I do for you, but something I do within you. True healing is not merely the absence of pain. It is learning to live in rhythm with my spirit. I am teaching you to listen to your body, not to make you fearful, but to help you recognize that it too is part of my divine design. When you care for it with gratitude, you worship me through your very existence. When you eat and rest with peace, when you speak words of love instead of bitterness, you align yourself with the creative flow I set in motion across the universe. You once thought worship was only singing, praying, or kneeling, but true worship is when every part of your being, mind, emotion, body turns toward me. When you laugh with gratitude, that is worship. When you honor your health with reverence, that is worship. When you forgive, when you love, when you choose peace over conflict, you offer a sacrifice more precious than any ritual. That is what delights me most, because it means your soul has returned to its rightful place where I am the center of your life. My child, listen carefully. Every cell within you is waiting to respond to my command. They are vibrating, rearranging themselves under the instruction of the Holy Spirit. You may not feel it, but I am working in silence. Like a seed sprouting beneath the soil, the miracle of life is quietly unfolding inside you. And when the time comes, you will see the result. Do not demand instant change, for what I am building within you is not just recovery, but a new foundation of life, a life no longer ruled by fear, but rooted in complete trust. Yet for this foundation to stand firm, you must release what no longer belongs to you. I know it is difficult. I know you have grown used to carrying burdens, to enduring pain, until at times you no longer know who you would be without suffering. But my child, I did not call you to make peace with darkness. I called you to step into the light. The light may blind you at first. It may expose you and make you feel bare, but it is the light of truth, the light of freedom. Do not fear exposure, for nothing can be healed if it remains hidden. My beloved one, when I reveal the shadows within you, I do not do it to condemn you, but to set you free. Where light enters, death must retreat. When you let me shine into your old wounds, buried memories, and broken relationships, you open the door for restoration to begin. You may cry, you may tremble, but those tears are not weakness, they are released. Each tear is living water, cleansing your soul, washing away bitterness and fear that have held you captive for too long. I have never left you, not even in your darkest hour. When you lay in loneliness on your bed, I sat beside you. When your prayers seemed to echo into emptiness, I heard every sigh. When you were ready to give up, I held your soul by a single thread of hope, so that today you could hear these words. That alone is proof that I have never stopped loving you. I have watched you walk through many storms. Some have changed you forever. But my child, it was in the storm that I taught you to hold my hand. It was through suffering that I forged your faith into steel. It was in tears that I planted the seed of endurance. So do not fear when you face trials. Trials are not punishment. They are the tools I use to make you stronger, purer, and more real. I have said gold must be tested by fire, and so must the soul. Do not run from the fire, for my fire does not destroy, it refines. It burns away what is false, so that what is true may shine. When you find yourself in the flames of testing, do not rush to say, Lord, take me out of this. Instead, say, Lord, stay with me in the fire, For when I am with you, the fire cannot harm you. It can only make you glow. I am rewriting your story. No chapter is wasted, no matter how painful it has been. The chapters you long to forget are the very foundation for the radiant ones to come. Every loss, every heartbreak, every tear will be transformed by me into anointing oil that brings healing to others through you. You will tell your story not with weeping, but with praise. You will say, I was weak, but he lifted me up. And when others hear it, they will believe that miracles are still alive. Now let my words soak into your flesh like living water. Let them flow into the weary places, into the aching parts, into where your joy once died. Let my word renew what has withered. Let it warm your heart again and awaken the hope that seemed long gone. I do not only want you to live, I want you to live abundantly, not merely surviving but thriving in fullness. And I promise if you keep your heart in peace, if you choose obedience over fear, everything will change. A day will come when you wake and notice your breath feels lighter, your steps steadier, your eyes brighter. Not because of medicine or chance, but because grace has begun to flow within you. You will know it is real, for peace will fill you beyond explanation. So prepare your spirit and your body for a new season. Set apart these 3 days for silence, for listening. Do not pray only with your lips. Pray with your life. Let every breath whisper, I believe. Let every tear say, I surrender. Let every moment of stillness speak, I wait for you. I will meet you in that silence. And from that moment, healing will no longer be a promise, it will be reality. I am the healer. I am the restorer. I am the one who holds every cell, every heartbeat, every breath within you. I am the one who called you out of ashes and will lead you into radiant light. And one day you will look back no longer afraid, no longer doubting, but full of gratitude. You will say, Lord, thank you, for you did not let me fall in the darkness, but guided me through it until I saw the dawn. My child, I want to lead you into the process of healing, a journey, not of human strength, but of the Spirit. Understand this: deeply healing is not a quick miracle to satisfy your wish, but a holy process through which I, your Lord, work in every layer of your soul, body, and mind. It does not begin with medicine or rituals. It begins with surrender. You ask me, Lord, what must I do to be healed? And I say to you, be still. For much of the pain in you does not come from what you have done, but from what you have never stopped doing. You have lived too long in the world's hurried rhythm, always striving, always pleasing, always proving. But my child, your soul was not created for this race. It was created to rest in me. When you stop, you do not grow weaker. You allow me to act. When you are silent, you are not giving up. You are making space for my power to move. My child, healing begins when you learn to listen to your body and your soul in my light. Look closely within, and you will see places that have not been touched for a long time, territories of fear, of wounds, of harsh words etched into your mind. You have carried these things for years, and they have seeped into your very cells. Your body remembers what your soul has not forgiven. Every tear swallowed, every time you pretended to be calm, every pain you buried has become an imprint in your flesh. And now those places are speaking not to destroy you, but to make you stop and see. You cannot be healed while denying pain. Light can only enter where the door is opened. I do not force you to face it. I invite you to look straight at what once frightened you, not to hurt you, but to set you free. When you dare to name what has weighed you down, you are giving me permission to step in. And when I enter, darkness has no place to stay. Do you know why I keep saying forgive? Not to make light of another's wrong, but to heal your own soul. Resentment is an invisible rope tying your heart to the wound. The tighter you hold it, the deeper the wound goes. The longer you keep it, the weaker your soul becomes. Forgiveness is not agreement with what was wrong. Forgiveness is the choice of freedom. When you forgive, you do not only unlock someone else, you unlock yourself. I have seen many souls grow sick, not because of the body, but because of bitterness. They pray for health while clutching anger in their hearts. How can light shine where the walls of hatred still stand? Begin here, right now, as you hear these words. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Let each breath carry my light through your body. Name the people, the memories, the events that hurt you. Say, I do not understand everything, but I choose to let go. Each time you say it, a chain falls from your soul. There is no need to force it, no need to pretend forgiveness, only be willing. Willingness is the door through which grace enters. I know you are afraid. You fear that if you release, you will be empty. You fear that if you forgive, you will be weak. But my child, you will lose nothing. You will gain more. When you release anger, I will pour in peace. When you release bitterness, I will fill you with joy. When you release fear, I will clothe you with faith. True healing always begins with an exchange. I take what harms you, and I give what the world cannot provide. Yet this exchange cannot happen while you keep control. I know you have faith, but at times you only trust in the places you still hold tight. You want me to work miracles, yet you will not open your hands. You pray, and then you worry. You say, I trust you, and then you lie awake solving everything in your mind. Faith is not a feeling, it is a decision. Choose to believe, even when your emotions refuse. Choose to rest, even when your reason tells you to strive. When you choose faith, you tell heaven that you trust a plan larger than yourself. I am restructuring you from within, not only in your immune system, but in the frequency of your soul. You do not see it, but with every prayer, with every peaceful exhale, your body is changing. Cells marked by fear are being replaced with the energy of faith. Your blood is receiving a new rhythm, the rhythm of life. Your heart is learning to beat to the tempo of heaven. This is the process I am working on for you, and none can stop it unless you refuse it yourself. Step out of the habit of overwork, out of excess and careless rhythms, out of the fear that if you stop, everything will collapse. It is not you who holds this world together, I do. You do not need to be the savior of everyone. You need only let me save you. You have carried burdens that were never yours. You have wept more for others than for yourself. Now I call you back to yourself, not to become selfish, but to be reborn. As you return to the quiet, you will begin to notice new things. At first, they may be small: a deeper breath, a lighter heart, a more peaceful sleep. Do not despise these small beginnings. They are the signs that my spirit is at work. All healing begins in silence, grows through patience, and bears fruit through faith. Do not demand immediate results. Trust that the process is underway. I am the Lord of time. I am never late and never early. Everything I do moves to the cadence of heaven. If you rush, you will miss the rhythm. If you drag your feet, you will lose the step. Walk with me, and all things will blend like a perfect song. I will teach you the rhythm of grace, neither hurried nor delayed, but whole in every step, in every breath, in every moment you dwell in me. Look at nature. No flower blooms by worrying. No bird flies by fear. Everything moves within my order, gentle, natural, trusting. You were made to live like this. Anxiety pulls you out of that rhythm. Faith returns you to the stream of life. That is why I say, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. You need only be here, present in this breath, in my love. And in that very moment, healing begins. My child, let me make this clear. Healing is not only for the parts of you that feel broken, but for your whole being. I want to renew your mind so that it thinks with the perspective of heaven. I want to purify your emotions so that they respond with love instead of fear. I want to align your body so that it becomes an instrument of my glory. I do not only want you to live longer, I want you to live truer, deeper, and more beautifully. When you do this, you will realize that miracles do not only happen to you, but through you. Every step you take in healing is a step that brings light into the world. When others see you at peace in the midst of trouble, they will ask, "How can you be this way?" And you will answer, "Because I no longer live for myself, but the Eternal One lives in me." My child, healing is not just a miracle I perform for you, but a relationship I build with you. Every cell, every heartbeat, every breath responds when you cooperate with my grace. A miracle is not a single act. It is a sacred dance between your faith and my power. When you believe, when you give thanks, when you walk in peace, you are moving in harmony with that divine rhythm. Know that your body has its own language, a language written by my own hand. It speaks not only through pain or wellness, but through the rhythm of your emotions, thoughts, and energy. Every time you worry, your body contracts. Every time you rest in peace, it opens. When you forgive, your blood flows freely. When you love, your cells sing. But when you hold bitterness, your organs tighten. You do not need to understand all of medicine to know that your body listens to your soul. I created them to function as a single symphony, body and spirit inseparable. Learn to listen not with your ears but with awareness. Learn to feel the signals your body sends. When you are tired, do not push yourself harder, for that is your body's prayer for rest. When you feel anxious, do not silence it. Ask me, Lord, what are you teaching me through this feeling? Every emotion carries a message, some warn, some invite. But if you keep running from them, you will miss my voice within them. I once said, "Give thanks in all things." 1 Thessalonians 5:18. That is not a moral slogan. It is the key to miracles. Gratitude is the soil where miracles take root. When you give thanks, you open the door of your soul, and when that door opens, grace can flow in. Gratitude is not a fleeting emotion. It is a posture of the spirit. When you give thanks, you declare that I am still working, even when you see no result. When you give thanks, you tell heaven that you trust my plan more than your feelings. And when you do that, I am free to do what you cannot do for yourself. Begin each day not with worry, but with gratitude. When you open your eyes, say, "Thank you, Lord, that I can still breathe today." When you drink water, say, "Thank you for this water that refreshes my soul." When you walk, say, "Thank you for the feet that still carry me." Let gratitude be the first breath of every morning and the last breath of every night. Gratitude is the door that leads you out of fear and into peace. I have seen many souls cry out for miracles yet forget to give thanks. They want me to change their circumstances before they give thanks, but true miracles happen when they give thanks before seeing results. My child, giving thanks first is the act of faith, and faith always precedes the miracle. When you thank me in pain, heaven moves. When you praise me before the way is clear, darkness trembles. When you lift thanks in the night, the dawn begins to rise. You are being healed not only by supernatural power, but by the way you choose to live each day. Walk in peace, for peace is the atmosphere where life multiplies. Do not let the news, the words, or the fears of others disturb your mind. When the world outside is chaotic, turn inward where I am. Remember, I have placed within you a center of stillness that nothing can shake. Even when storms rage around you, if you remain in that center, you will stand firm. I do not call you to flee the world. I call you to walk through it without belonging to it. You may work, connect, and love, but let everything flow from inner peace, not external pressure. When you live from the inside out rather than the outside in, you are living in healing. Healing is not a destination, it is a journey. Some days you will feel progress, other days you may feel as though you have stepped backward. Do not be discouraged by the dim days. I am still working, even when you cannot feel me. Every seed takes time to grow, and your patience allows its roots to go deeper. Stop comparing your journey to others. Every soul is a painting I am creating. Some are healed in an instant, others through an entire season of refining. but both are in my plan. Do not ask why others move faster. Ask how you can be more faithful. For what I seek is not speed, but steadfastness. Healing comes not only from what you avoid, but from what you receive. Nourish your soul with my word. Every time you read it, faith grows. Every time you sing and praise, heaven's energy fills you. Every time you forgive, your blood flows lighter. Every time you love, your heart is anointed with grace. This is the divine therapy no medicine can imitate. My child, I know there are days when you wake with no strength at all, when the world feels heavy and you feel small and lost. But on those days, I am closest. When you are weak, I am not disappointed, I am merciful. When you are exhausted, I do not leave, I lift. When you have nothing left to give, I only ask for your heart. Let your tears become your prayer, for I understand that language better than any words. My child, remember this well. I have never asked you to be perfect, only to be real. When you pray, do not try to find beautiful words. Speak honestly as a child speaks to their father. Say, Lord, I am weak, I am afraid, I need you. And you will find that I come not with thunder, but with a gentle breeze, not with might, but with tenderness. I will hold you in the quiet, and within that stillness the miracle begins. You will start to notice small changes, my child, moments when you realize something inside you has shifted. Perhaps it is when you no longer react in anger as you once did, or when you feel peace even though nothing outside has changed. That is the true sign of healing, when peace arrives before circumstances do. Do not dismiss these signs, for it is in such small beginnings that great miracles grow. I want you to live in constant awareness of my presence. Do not look for me only in prayer, but in the most ordinary moments. When you wash your hands, feel that I am cleansing. When you eat, know that I am nourishing. When you smile at someone, understand that I am shining through your eyes. When you are silent, remember that I am speaking. You do not need to go far to find me. You only need to pause to realize that I am already here. When you live in gratitude, awareness, and faith, every part of you begins to say yes to life. Your cells say yes. Your breath says yes. Your mind says yes. And when every part of you joins in that yes with me, nothing can stop the flow of life moving through you. Grace is never late. Even when you think it is too late, I can still turn things around. I can remake, restore, renew, and resurrect what seemed lost. I do not need perfect circumstances to perform miracles. I only need a willing heart. When you are ready, heaven moves. Continue to pray, not because I need to be reminded, but because you need to remember. Every prayer is a thread connecting your soul to heaven. As you pray, you keep that connection alive. Through that connection, the current of healing flows. I do not want you to pray only when you are afraid. I want you to pray as a way of living. Speak to me in the market, on the street, in the midst of work, in laughter and tears. Invite me into every part of your life, for where I am present there is no room for sickness, fear, or darkness. And when you feel weak, remember, faith is not a feeling, it is a choice. You do not have to feel strong to believe. You only need to say, even in my weakness I still trust you, and from there I will do the rest. My child, when your spirit has found stillness and your heart has learned gratitude, I want to lead you deeper into the realm of thoughts and words. For my child, your body responds not only to what you eat, but to what you think, what you believe, and what you speak each day. I created this universe through my word. When I said, "Let there be light," light appeared. And you were made in my image, which means you too carry the power of speech. When you speak, you plant the seeds of your own reality. Do not underestimate the power of your words. Some words you say without thinking, yet they carry the energy to create or destroy. When you complain, you give darkness permission to shape your day. When you speak in fear, you invite anxiety to enter. But when you speak in faith, heaven moves. When you speak in love, all creation listens. I do not tell you this to make you afraid of your words, but to make you aware that you can choose which words live in your mouth. Remember, words are not just sound, they are spirit. Every word that leaves your lips carries the energy of your soul. If your soul is full of faith, your words become seeds of miracles. But if your soul is filled with doubt, your words sow chaos. Therefore, let your mouth be a fountain of life, not a well of complaint. Guard your tongue as a watchman guards the temple gate. You have often said, I am weak, I cannot, I am tired. And your body has heard, believed, and responded. It contracts, its energy dims, for it only obeys what the soul declares. My child, stop speaking of yourself as a victim. You are not the product of circumstance, you are the result of grace. I have placed in you the power to shape tomorrow through the words you speak today. So speak with faith. When you say, I am being healed, you are not lying. You are calling the unseen into being, for that is the language of faith. The scripture says, life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Proverbs 1:8-1. Do you see? This is a law woven into the universe itself. When you speak faith-filled words, you partner with me. When you echo words of fear, you partner with darkness. Choose your side, my child. I have given you freedom, and that freedom begins with the words you choose. I am not asking you to deny reality. I am teaching you to declare the truth. Reality is what your eyes see. Truth is what I speak. Reality may say you are weak, but truth says I am your strength. Reality may say your body hurts, but truth says I am the Lord who heals you. Reality may say you are alone, but truth says I will never leave you, nor forsake you. When you speak truth instead of circumstance, you bring heaven down to touch the earth. Learn to speak to your body. Do not only pray silently, speak words of life into every part of you. Place your hand over your heart and say, be restored in the name of the Lord. Speak to your blood and say, flow in peace. Speak to your mind and say, be still, for the Lord reigns here. Each declaration is not mere sound, it is a sacred command, a vibration of faith that travels through your body, aligning all disorder to heaven's design. I also want to renew your mind, for the body only reflects what the mind believes. You cannot have health while your thoughts are poisoned. You cannot have peace while your mind is trapped in fear. Your mind is the battlefield where either miracles or misery are born. Therefore I say, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 1:2-2. When you change the way you think, you will change the way you live. Learn to capture every thought before it takes root. When a negative thought comes, do not welcome it like a guest. Ask it, did you come from God? If not, cast it out. Do not let your mind become a dwelling place for doubt. Cleanse it daily with my word. Let your thoughts be washed in Scripture, as your soul is washed in living water. When my word fills your mind, other voices lose their power. My child, your mind is like a garden. If you do not plant good seeds, weeds will grow. Do not expect miracles to bloom in soil full of fear. Sow seeds of hope, of trust, of love. Water them with prayer and the light of gratitude. And when you wait patiently, the harvest will come. I promise you, my child, no prayer, no matter how small, ever falls to the ground in vain. My child, you must understand that the renewal of the mind does not happen overnight. It is a journey. I will lead you through challenges, not to make you stumble, but to help you see what truly lives within you. Every time you are provoked, you will discover what really governs your thoughts. Every time you are wounded, you will learn whether you are believing my word or the words of the world. Do not grow discouraged when you see weakness, for that is the very moment I am shaping you. Like a potter molding clay, I use pressure not to break you, but to make you whole. I want you to live in truth. Truth is not mere knowledge, it is presence. When you dwell in truth, you dwell in me. And when you are in me, nothing can separate you from life. Look back over your days. How many times did you think you would fall, yet you still rose again? That was not luck. It was proof that my grace has never left you. Now I want you to begin seeing yourself through my eyes. Do not look through the mirror of the world, it only reflects scars. Look through the mirror of heaven where you are wonderfully made, beloved, chosen, destined for glory. When you see yourself this way, even your body will begin to respond. It will stop trembling, stop shrinking, stop fearing. It will open, relax, and shine, for it will recognize that its owner has returned. Do not tell yourself you are mere dust and nothing more. Dust, yes, but dust that carries my breath. You are earth, but this earth has been filled with my spirit. You are mortal, but you bear within you the immortal spark of the divine. When you remember this, you will no longer fear sickness or age. The body may change, but your soul, when it abides in me, will remain ever renewed. I also want you to understand the power of vision. You are walking toward what your inner eyes see. If you only see pain, you will live in pain. But if you see restoration, you will walk into restoration. If you see limitations, you will be confined by it. But if you see me, nothing can hinder you. Lift your gaze higher, my child. Do not see with earthly sight, see with faith. When you see what I see, you will speak what I speak. And when you speak what I speak, you will live in what I have promised. Remember my words. If you can believe, all things are possible. Mark 9:2-3. Faith is not a sudden feeling, it is a daily decision. Even when you see nothing, believe that I am working. Even when your body aches, believe that life is being restored. Even when the night feels long, believe that dawn is coming. That faith is the sacred current that connects you to my power. And when you speak by faith, you are creating a new reality. Do not say, I am afraid. Say, I am strengthened in the Lord. Do not say, I am exhausted. Say, the strength of the Lord lifts me up. Do not say, I am alone. Say, the Lord is with me, and that is enough. Do not say, I do not know the future. Say, my future rests safely in His hands. Every declaration like this is a seed, and that seed will bloom when you hold fast to faith. Never forget that every word you speak returns to you. If you speak in fear, you will harvest fear. If you speak in faith, you will harvest life. I want you to live as a mindful sower, aware that every word is a sacred seed that can bring forth a season. Do not let your lips plant death, let them sow life. Let your mouth speak blessing, not complaint. Let your heart release gratitude, not grumbling. Let your eyes see grace, not faults. When you change your language, you change the atmosphere around you. Darkness trembles before an honest prayer. Light rejoices in the sound of thanksgiving. Each morning, speak with me. Today I choose to believe. I choose peace. I choose to live in light. I choose to obey and follow you. If you do this, each of your days will become a song, and every breath will carry the fragrance of heaven. My beloved child, now that you have entered the process of healing and are learning to live by faith, I need you to understand something deeper. Every true healing passes through fire. Not the fire of destruction, but the fire of refinement. For only in fire are impurities burned away. Only in pain is the soul shaped, and only through trial does faith become real. My child, if you long to step into the fullness of what I have prepared for you, you must walk through this process, one that I in infinite love have chosen for you. You have thought that the fire is punishment, that pain means abandonment. But I tell you the truth, I never leave you in the fire. I am the one standing beside you in it. Do you remember the 3 friends of Daniel? When they were thrown into the furnace for refusing to bow to an idol, the king saw a 4th man walking with them, and that figure looked like the Son of God. Yes, my child, when you are in the fire, I am there with you. When the flames surround you, that is when I draw nearest. I do not allow the fire to touch you to destroy, but to purify. Just as the refiner knows the exact moment to remove gold from the furnace, I know your limits. I know how much heat it takes to burn away fear, but not hope. I know how much pressure it takes to erase lies, but preserve the seed of faith. When I allow the fire, it is not anger, it is love. For no true love exists without refining. My child, you are in a season where everything may feel turned upside down. You may be losing things that once felt secure. Relationships shift, plans remain unfinished, doors close one after another. You may ask, why, Lord? But I tell you this, everything I remove is to make room for something better. Just as a farmer must break the soil before sowing seed, I am tilling the ground of your heart, breaking through the hardened layers to prepare it for a new harvest. You cannot cling to the past and still hope to embrace the future. What you call loss is often the beginning of blessing. I know there are moments when you want to flee the fire, to return to the safe place where you feel in control, untouched by trial. But my child, it is only in the fire that you learn what peace cannot teach. It is under pressure that you discover the endurance of your faith. It is in tears that you learn the language of grace. If you avoid the fire, you also avoid the miracle. For miracles are not born in comfort, but in testing. When you cry, Lord, why must I endure this? I hear you. When you whisper, I cannot bear any more, I hear you. And when you ask, show me your purpose in this pain, I am already answering. The purpose of the trial is not to destroy you, but to reveal what I have placed inside you. The seed of faith cannot prove itself genuine until it is tested. You may feel alone because others cannot understand what you are going through. But remember, I never use the same pattern for two souls. You are being shaped in a way that is unique to your calling, for your destiny is unlike any other. I am preparing you for something even you cannot yet see. And because that purpose is great, the refining must be deep. If you were called to live an ordinary life, you would not need to pass through fire. But since I have called you to shine, you must be refined. I see your trembling, but I also see the light growing stronger within you. Every tear you shed is a pearl I gather. Every time you choose to stand instead of surrender, heaven rejoices. Every time you say, I still believe, even when everything around you says otherwise, you are writing a testimony more powerful than any sermon. So, my child, do not be ashamed of your tears. Do not think true faith means never trembling. True faith is still holding my hand while you tremble. Remember my promise in Isaiah 4:3-2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned, and the flames will not set you ablaze. I have spoken it, and my word never returns void. The fire you are walking through today is the same fire I promised to walk with you in. You will not only survive, you will emerge radiant with a deeper faith and a heart purified like gold refined in flame. You must change the way you see. Do not look at the fire as your enemy, but as your teacher. Every trial carries a lesson. Ask me, Lord, what are you teaching me through this? When you change your question, you open the door to wisdom. When you stop asking why me and begin asking, what do you want me to learn, you move from being a victim to being chosen. I know pain is not easy. I know there are nights you cannot sleep and mornings when your heart feels hollow. But in that emptiness, I am planting the seed of deeper faith. When you can no longer rely on feelings, you learn to rely on my word. And that is where true miracles begin. Not in emotional highs, but in steady perseverance. Pause for a moment and look around you. Everything you see, the sky, the light, the wind, the trees, has known fire. The sun burns to give light. Gold is refined to shine brighter. Grain is crushed to become bread. Even your body endures its own small fires every day. Heat, pressure, transformation to sustain life. Fire is not only destruction, it is creation. And I am the one who uses fire to bring forth the new. When I allow the flame to touch you, it is because I am leading you toward a purer version of yourself, where fear has no power, where doubt no longer chains you, where your faith stands not on circumstances, but on my presence. This is where you will know me not only as the God of blessings, but as the God of the process. Every wound is being turned into strength. Every scar will become a testimony. Every storm is deepening the roots of your faith. Do not leave the fire before it completes its work. If you step out too soon, you will carry with you what I intended to burn away. Stay until the fire becomes light, until darkness can find no shelter within you. You will see after each trial that you are stronger, wiser, and closer to me. You will understand that the fire did not diminish you, it made you shine. You will realize that what I took away was nothing compared to what I am giving back. And you will say, Lord, if not for the fire, I would never have known how near you truly are. My child, I promise you this, after the fire comes light, after the tears comes joy, after the trial comes glory. Do not be afraid when you hear the crackling of fire in your life. It is only the sound of chains breaking. Do not fear. When you feel the burning in your spirit, it is the sign that what is old is being consumed. I am not burning you. I am burning away what no longer belongs to you. And when the fire dies down, you will emerge not with the scent of smoke, but with the fragrance of new life. Your eyes will shine brighter, your steps will grow steadier, your words will carry greater power. For those who have walked through the fire with me are never the same. They carry within them an unquenchable flame, the flame of faith, the flame of love, the flame of hope that cannot be extinguished. Take my hand and let me lead you through this season. I know you are afraid, but do not look at the fire, look at me. When your eyes are fixed on me, the fire loses its power. When you look at me, you will see that nothing in this world can harm you when it rests in my hands. My child, I am doing something new in you, something that will leave those who once knew you astonished. They will ask, "What happened to you?" And you will smile and say, "I walked through the fire, but God was with me." And those words will shake the heavens. When you are in the midst of the fire, it may feel as though everything is falling apart, but in truth you are being reborn. You see things being taken away, yet I tell you, a new version of you is being formed among the ashes. Do not look at what is burning, look at what is rising. For fire is not only an ending, it is a beginning. In the very place where you think everything is lost, I am rebuilding you upon an unshakable foundation. You have asked, "Why did you allow this to happen?" But what if I told you that this fire came not to punish, but to unlock the potential you never knew you carried? Would you believe me? Many times you cannot step into glory because you still cling to what is old. You long for the safety of the familiar, but I love you too much to let you remain bound by comfort. So I send the fire not to destroy you, but to burn away everything that keeps you from soaring higher. Look at the creation I have made. A seed can only sprout once it breaks open. Grain can only become bread when the old kernel dies in the ground. Even the ashes of a burned forest become the fertile soil for new growth. So in everything I have made, death is never the end, it is the doorway to new life. Therefore, when a part of you seems to die, a dream, a relationship, a season, do not fear. Know that I am working a quiet miracle in the unseen. You once believed that strength meant never falling, but I tell you, true strength is falling into my arms and still choosing to rise. When you break, I do not despise you. I gather every fragment and mend them with light. You are not broken to be discarded. You are broken so that my light can shine through you. For only when the vessel is cracked can the light escape. Remember my words through Paul. We have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. 2 Corinthians 4:7. When you endure, you are not merely surviving, you are being remade. You are learning to trust me more than yourself. You are discovering that true strength is not found in control but in surrender. When you let go, you are not giving up, you are allowing me to do what you cannot. You have tried to heal yourself, to hold everything together, to carry burdens you were never meant to bear, but now I call you to release. Let me be your father. Let me carry the weight you were not created to hold. I see your exhaustion. You have poured out your energy trying to hold on to things that are already slipping away. But I say to you, let them fall. Do not fear when the old collapses, for only what is unstable can crumble. What is of me will stand. You are in the process of separation. I am pulling you away from the temporary to give you what is eternal. Do not resist. This process, for resistance will only deepen your pain. Trust that everything I remove I will replace with something more beautiful, more pure, more true. My child, I want you to see the beauty of the fire through my eyes. When gold is refined, the refiner knows it is pure when he can see his reflection in the metal. So it is with you. I will not stop until my image is reflected within you. The fire does not come to bring you down, but to remove everything that does not reflect me. You were made in my likeness, and I cannot allow that image to remain hidden beneath fear, sin, or bitterness. There are wounds deep within you that you have tried to bury. There are memories you have been afraid to touch, words you have never dared to speak. But my fire will touch them, not to harm, but to heal. My light will shine into the places you once avoided, and those very places will become wells of strength. You will no longer be ruled by them. You will say, I was once in pain, but now I am free. And those words will become freedom to others still bound in the shadows. My child, do not let shame silence you. I never use shame to transform you, I use love. Shame makes you hide, love draws you home. I am calling you out of hiding out from behind the masks you have worn just to survive. You do not need to pretend to be strong anymore. I do not need a perfect child. I long for a true one. Come to me weak if you must, broken if you are, but come as you are. For where there is honesty, miracles begin. You have prayed for me to take away your pain, yet there are moments when I do not because I am indifferent, but because I know that pain is shaping your faith. If I removed it too soon, you would lose the chance to know me more deeply. If everything were easy, you would never discover the depth of grace. So I do not always silence the fire, I teach you to dance in it. I do not always stop the storm, I teach you to rest in its midst. I have seen you kneel in the night, tears mingling with your prayers. You thought I was silent, but I was working. Like a farmer who plants seed and must wait in quiet, you are in a hidden season. Unseen does not mean inactive. The most profound things always happen in silence. A seed does not grow on the surface. It grows deep in the soil. Do not measure your progress by what you can see. Believe that I am working in the depths you cannot yet perceive. The olive yields oil only when pressed. Grapes become wine only when crushed. Frankincense releases fragrance only when burned. And you, my beloved soul, shine brightest when refined. Do not despise the pressure, it only proves there is something precious inside you. I never press what is empty, I press where there is potential. The pain you feel today is the depth that will hold tomorrow's blessing. Do not let fear make you forget me. When you do not understand, remember that I am still good. When you cannot see the way, remember that I still lead. When you feel abandoned, remember that I still hold you. True faith does not require understanding everything, it rests in knowing that I am always there. Trust that I am turning every tear into a seed for harvest. Not one drop is wasted, not one sorrow is forgotten. My child, I not only promise to bring you out of the fire, I promise to make you into fire. When you emerge, you will carry within you the flame of courage, the flame of compassion, the flame of faith that cannot be extinguished. Others will come to the light you bear because they will see in you what I have done. You will become living proof that nothing is ever lost in the hands of God. The fire you endure today will testify to the glory you will reveal tomorrow. If you are enduring it is not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. If you are tested, it is not because you are forgotten, but because you are trusted. You carry within you a glory not yet revealed, and I am preparing you to hold it. And my child, when the fire ends, you will look back and realize that pain was never your enemy. It was your teacher, the one that led you closer to me than ever before. You will no longer fear the fire because you will understand that it awakened in you a new strength, a new faith, and a heart that loves more deeply than before. My beloved, when the ashes settle and the storm of testing begins to fade, I want you to look back not through the eyes of fear, but through the gaze of wisdom. For in the very place where you thought it was all over, I am beginning a new chapter. You are no longer the one entering the fire. You are the one who has walked through it. And to walk through the fire, my child, is not merely to survive it, is to be resurrected. I know there are scars upon you, but hear me, every scar is a story, and every healed story carries my glory. You do not need to erase your past, for I am not ashamed of it. The things you once suffered, if placed in my hands, will become your song of victory. You were once broken, but now you stand. You once wept, but now you sing. You once thought yourself lost, but now you are found. You are entering the season of joy after the trial, the season promised in the Word. Those who sow in tears shall reap with joy. Psalm 1:2-6-5. I do not promise that you will never feel pain again, but I promise that pain will no longer rule you. It will not define you or bind you. Instead, it will become your testimony of my power. You will tell the story of your dark days not with bitterness but with gratitude. You will look at the old cracks and say, "This is where the light came in." For everything I touch, I transform. Even what was broken, I make more beautiful than before. True restoration is not only the healing of the body, it is the expansion of the soul. After passing through the fire, your heart becomes softer, your eyes clearer, your compassion deeper. You will see others as I see you, not with judgment, but with mercy. You will understand that everyone is fighting a battle unseen, and that understanding will make you a healer, not just through your words, but through your very presence. When I heal one person, it is never only for them, it is for the countless others who will be touched through their life. You have walked through fire not to stand still, but to become light. You will meet wandering souls, and they will find faith again because of you. They will hear your words, and through them, they will hear my voice. For when a soul is truly healed, it no longer needs to shout, its peace speaks louder than words. Now I call you to be a bearer of light, not the light of pride, but of compassion. Not to boast of what you have overcome, but to share my grace. I do not need perfection to use you, I need willingness. For it is in your weakness that my strength is made perfect. I chose you not because you are powerful, but because you are humble. Not because you are unscarred, but because you allow me to touch your scars. This new calling is not a burden, but a blessing. You will not walk alone, for I will go with you. Everywhere you set your foot, you will carry the fragrance of my presence. You will become a sower of grace, a comforter to the weary, a voice of hope in desolation. I have placed within your mouth the flame of truth, not a fire that burns, but one that warms. I will open doors you never imagined. I will lead you to places beyond your dreams, not for fame, but for my glory. I will bring before you hearts in need of light, and you will not need to worry what to say, for I will give you the words. All I ask is that you keep your heart pure and your spirit tender. The world does not need more loud voices. It needs souls that have truly been transformed. I know, my child, that you are afraid of not being enough. You fear your weakness, your unpreparedness. But remember, Moses said he could not speak, and I still chose him. Job lost everything, and I still restored him double. Paul was imprisoned, yet his words reached the ends of the earth. And you, though you see yourself as small, I see within you a lamp that will shine in the night of many. I did not choose you for your ability. I chose you for your willingness. My child, joy is not only the result that comes after trial, it is the sign of a soul that has been set free. True joy does not depend on circumstances, but on the awareness that I am still here. When you learn to rejoice in the midst of imperfection, you are living in the depth of faith. This joy is not loud laughter. It is a gentle peace that seeps into every cell of your being. And once you have it, nothing outside can take it away. Do not fear the traces of your wounds. They are not marks of failure, but medals of victory. Scars do not make you less beautiful. They make you more real, more like me. For my Son, Jesus Christ, also bears the marks of the nails, not to remind the world of pain, but to prove that love has triumphed. And when you carry the marks of your trial, you carry the evidence of my love in this world. Your calling does not begin when you are perfect. It begins when you say yes. I do not wait for you to stop trembling. I simply ask you to believe that I am big enough to turn fear into strength. When you open your mouth with humility, I will pour out grace. When you extend your hand in genuine love, I will add power. And when you pray for others from the very place where you were once broken, that prayer will carry healing power. Remember this: the one who has been healed becomes the healer. You are touched not just to be comforted, but to become one who brings comfort. You are pulled out of the fire so that you can help others out of their darkness. You are restored so that you can restore others. Therefore, do not hide your light. Do not fear that you are not enough. Light does not need to be perfect to shine, it only needs to be lit. Do not waste the breath you have. Every morning you wake up is my reminder that I am not done with you yet. Each new day is another chance to love more deeply, forgive more freely, and believe more firmly. Live with gratitude, for gratitude is the mark of a soul that has been healed. Give thanks not only for the good things, but also for what you do not yet understand. For one day you will look back and see that everything I did had purpose. When you go out to share your light, you will meet those who are standing where you once stood, tired, hopeless, uncertain. Look at them with eyes of compassion and say, I understand. That empathy will open the door for miracles. You do not need to convince them. You only need to be present. The light within you will speak for itself. And through you, I will touch them. I promise you the season of ashes has passed, and the season of bloom is coming. The tree you thought was dead will sprout again. The dream you thought was lost will be revived. The heart you thought had no love left will learn to love again. And in the moment you think you are merely surviving, you will realize you are blossoming. For I, your God, never restore anything without making it better than before. I am not bringing you back to what was, but leading you to what is higher, to the place where you will see the world through the eyes of grace. And you will understand that everything, every tear, every wound, every long night was worth it, because it paved the way for you to become who I destined you to be. Now lift your head, walk in the new light, and let your heart sing the song the fire taught you, the song of faith, of gratitude, and of love stronger than fear. You have been healed not just to live, but to live abundantly. You have been restored not just to survive, but to overflow. You have been purified not just to be clean, but to become a vessel for my glory. My beloved, when the fire has settled and the smoke of trial has cleared, you are standing on the bare foundation of your soul, the ground upon which I will rebuild my temple within you. Do not fear this emptiness, my child. It is not a sign of loss, but a field cleared for my presence. Where old walls have fallen, I will build anew. Where cracks once bled, I will place stones of peace. You once thought healing was the end, but I tell you, healing is only the beginning of rebuilding. For I do not want you merely healed. I want you strong. I do not want you merely alive. I want you radiant. Like Jerusalem after its desolation, I am calling your soul to rise and rebuild. I speak to you as I did through Nehemiah, rise up, for this work is holy. And truly your restoration is an act of worship. When I look upon your soul, I do not see ruins, I see potential. In the broken pieces, I see where light can pass through. In the cracks, I see places where the fragrance of grace will flow out. But to rebuild, you must learn to partner with me in the process. I will not rebuild with old materials. I will not build on the foundation of fear, shame, or the past. I will build on the rock of faith, the mortar of obedience, and the arch of love. Understand this: every temple rebuilt after destruction becomes more beautiful than before. Like Solomon's temple, its beauty does not come from perfection but from my glory dwelling within. You may still see the old cracks, but when my light shines through, they will become mirrors of my splendor. Do not try to erase the evidence of your past, for they are the proof that I have been there, touched you, and redeemed you. I want you to rebuild every part of your life with me as the foundation. Begin with your mind. You have allowed lies to take root there, voices that said you were not good enough, not worthy, and capable of change. But my child, I declare, you are my workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works which I prepared in advance for you. Ephesians 2:10. Replace every lie with truth. Each morning before you hear what the world says about you, hear my voice. You are loved. You are chosen. You are destined to overcome. Let those words become the foundation of your thoughts each day. My child, you must now rebuild your heart. I know your heart has been broken, drained, and closed off. But now I am giving you a new heart, not one of stone, but of living flesh. A heart that feels deeply, that loves without fear of being hurt, that gives without calculation. You cannot love truly if you still fear pain. But I tell you, this true love is not weakness, it is my strength revealed through kindness. When you love, you reflect my image. A healed heart is not one that never feels pain, but one that loves even after pain. And I want your heart to become my new altar, where every breath, every prayer, every small act becomes an offering. When you forgive, you light a candle on that altar. When you give thanks, you release a sweet fragrance. When you choose faith over fear, you sing a hymn of praise to me. That is how your temple lives and breathes. Next, rebuild your body. Your body is the temple I created, and I call you to care for it with reverence. You cannot pray for healing while still harming the temple that houses my spirit. I do not demand asceticism, but I teach you to listen to your body as a sacred companion. Eat what brings life, not just for health, but out of respect for the gift I have given you. Rest not out of laziness, but out of trust. Move not from fear of illness, but out of joy in living. Every act of care for your body is a form of gratitude, a declaration that says, Lord, I know this body belongs to you. My child, rebuilding is not merely repair, it is transformation. You are not called to return to who you once were, for the old has passed away. You are called to become the new version of yourself in me. Everything you have lost will return, but not in the same form. Love will be deeper, peace will be steadier, faith will be stronger, purpose will be clearer. For what is born after trial carries the weight of glory it never had before. As I rebuild the temple within you, I am also teaching you the art of stillness. Do not rush. Do not strive to prove that you are ready. I want you to rest in the process, not race through it. Some things can only mature in quietness. Just as a seed needs darkness to take root, your soul needs stillness to grow strong. Learn to sit in my presence without words. Let me speak through breath, through morning light, through the whisper of the wind. When you learn silence, you will hear what noise can never teach. In this rebuilding, small trials will come, but they are not fires, only stones for testing. I will allow small frictions not to make you fall, but to show you what still needs strengthening. Like a craftsman testing every brick, I will test your faith. When you face criticism, I am teaching you steadiness. When you face delay, I am teaching you patience. When you are misunderstood, I am teaching you to love without needing to be understood. Every small challenge is a lesson of eternity. Your soul is a temple being rebuilt layer by layer, pillar by pillar. Every prayer is a brick. Every act of love is mortar. Every tear is water washing the foundation. Every word of gratitude is a vaulted roof. And I am the architect, the builder, and the light upon it all. When the work is complete, those who look at you will not say, "What a strong person," but "How great is the Lord." Understand, my child, as I rebuild you. I am also expanding your vision. You no longer live only for yourself, but for a greater purpose. You will become a refuge for weary souls. They will find peace in your presence, not because you are perfect, but because you carry the fragrance of restoration. You will be living proof that what was once destroyed can be rebuilt and even more beautiful than before. And when you look back on your journey, I want you to smile, not because it was easy, but because it was worth it. You will understand that every loss made way for blessing, every tear watered the seed of faith, and every pain became the material with which I rebuilt you. You will stand in the new temple of your soul and say, "Truly, my God has done marvelous things." So let me continue this work. Do not rush, do not fear. I am the one who began this, and I am the one who will complete it. For I have never abandoned anything I began in love. My child, I want to teach you the art of keeping. Building is a gift, but keeping is wisdom. For many are healed, yet not all know how to remain whole. Many are delivered, yet only those who guard their peace truly stay free. Therefore, learn to protect what I have entrusted to you, for the enemy cannot take what I give unless you let go. First, guard your mind with vigilance. Your mind is the gateway of the soul, the place where I speak and where the enemy whispers. If you do not guard it, peace will slip away unnoticed. Do not let every thought pass unchecked. Ask, does this come from God or from fear? Every thought that carries no light, stop it at the door. Remember what Matthew 6:22 says. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light. The eye here is also the mind's gate. What you choose to see, hear, and dwell on is what feeds your soul. Peace does not sustain itself. It must be guarded by daily choice. When you wake, choose peace before the world offers chaos. When you are hurt, choose forgiveness before bitterness takes root. When you hear bad news, choose to believe my word before fear finds a place. Peace is not a feeling, it is a continual decision. It is an invisible shield, a sacred boundary around your soul. I know that sometimes you grow weary of having to guard so constantly, but understand this. This is not a battle of fear. It is a journey of love. When you guard the temple, you are not defending a structure of stone. You are protecting the dwelling place of my presence. Every time you choose gentleness over reaction, you close the door against darkness. Every time you choose gratitude over complaint, you light a candle within the temple. Every time you choose silence over argument, you keep the flame of peace burning. This is how I teach you to fight, not with sword or noise, but with trust. My child, learn to discern the difference between living in the world and belonging to it. I have not called you to leave this life, but to live within it with a mind anchored in heaven. You may work, meet people, and love freely, but do not let the world's nature define who you are. You may hear many voices, but let mine be the melody that leads you. When you walk into noise, remember that within you there is a sacred space, a still sanctuary, untouched by the world. That is where I dwell, and that place must be kept pure. Purity is not perfection. It is honesty before me. When you feel weak, do not pretend to be strong. When you see yourself pulled by the world's current, do not hide, come to me. I do not ask you never to stumble. I ask you to return quickly, for it is the returning that keeps your temple alive. Just as a lamp needs oil each day, your soul needs grace every morning. You cannot keep the flame burning by your own strength. You need me, the inexhaustible source of oil. My child, I want to teach you something vital. Stay away from what drains your soul, even if it seems harmless. There are things that are not evil, but still empty your spirit. A needless conversation, a small habit, a hidden obsession, all can gather dust on the altar of your heart. Learn to pause. Learn to say no to what does not nourish your soul. Live with discernment, not out of pride, but out of wisdom. Do not forget to nourish your spirit with my presence. Just as the body needs food, the soul needs time in my light. Do not pray only when you are in need. Pray because you love to walk with me. Do not read my word only when you are in pain. Read it to rejoice with me. Do not seek me only when you have lost peace. Invite me into your ordinary moments. Let me become your breath, not a ritual, but a living relationship. My beloved, there will be days when your peace is tested like calm waters suddenly stirred by the wind. When that happens, do not panic. Remember, you do not need to calm the waves. You only need to stay still in the boat. You will see that my presence is your anchor. Remember my promise in John 1:4-7. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. The peace I give is not built on circumstance, but on my presence, and I never leave you. Do not be surprised when the world cannot understand the peace you carry. Some will think you are indifferent because you do not panic. Some will think you are naive because you do not despair. But remember, they cannot comprehend what they have not tasted. When you hold your peace amid chaos, you are testifying of my power. Your calmness is your sermon. The serenity in your eyes preaches without words. People will look at you and ask, "What keeps this one steady in the storm?" And you will smile and say, "My God is with me." Always keep the door of your heart open to gratitude. Gratitude is the fence that guards peace. When you are thankful, darkness finds no entry. When you give thanks, fear retreats. Each day, however simple, find at least one reason to be thankful. Thank me for the morning light, for the breath in your chest, for the song of birds, for the smallest ordinary grace. For in those small things I am present. A thankful heart is a temple the enemy cannot invade. Do not mistake holiness for isolation. Keeping the temple does not mean closing its doors. You were not made to live alone, but to reflect my light among others. Engage love and serve, but do not dissolve. Be among people, yet do not let their energy dictate yours. Walk into the world with your mind clothed in light, and you will see, rather than being influenced, you will become the influence. Do not fear if at times you feel weak, if your peace slips, if you find yourself swept along by life's currents. Simply return, breathe, and call my name. One whisper. Lord, help me, and I am there. I do not need long prayers to act. I only need a sincere heart. Remember, I am not far, I am within your very breath. And when night falls, when the world grows quiet, I want you to enter the stillness like a watchman of the temple. Look back over your day and say, "Thank you, Lord, that I kept my peace today. Thank you that even in my flaws I am still loved. Thank you that you are still building within me." Such words of gratitude rise to me like incense. They keep the inner flame from dying. If you are faithful in guarding your peace, I will reveal deeper things to you. You will hear my voice more clearly, sense my leading more sharply. For peace is not merely a reward, it is the environment where I speak. When your soul is quiet, I can speak plainly. When your mind is still, you can see the paths I open. Peace is the soil, and revelation is the seed. Keep the soil soft, and you will see the seed take root. Here is my promise. If you keep peace, I will keep you. If you hold to my word, I will protect you from temptation. If you guard the light, I will cause darkness to flee. For my protection is not only around you, it is within you, in every breath, every thought, every heartbeat. My beloved, I want to take you deeper into the art of presence. Keeping peace within yourself is the beginning, but becoming the place where peace overflows, that is true maturity. My child, I have not called you merely to be filled, but to overflow. When you walk into a room, know that the light within you changes the atmosphere. When you speak, understand that the sound of grace flows through your words. When you are silent, remember that even your stillness carries power. Presence is the language of heaven without words. The world longs for those who know how to carry that presence, not through knowledge, but through spirit. Some will never read the scriptures, but they will read you. Some will never listen to a sermon, but they will hear me through your kindness. Some may not yet believe in God, but they will feel me through the way you love, the way you forgive, the way you stay calm in the storm. This is what I desire, that you become a living scripture, a living testimony that I, the Lord, still dwell among humanity. I do not demand perfection, but I call you to be real. When you are with others, do not strive to do right. Simply be who you are in me. I do not need you to appear holy. I need you to be a vessel through which holiness flows. You do not always need great words. Sometimes a gentle look, a sincere question, or a quiet act of kindness can awaken a soul to remember that they are loved. To carry my presence does not mean you must preach loudly. Sometimes it means you are silent, yet people feel peace near you. When a wounded heart draws close and feels safe before you say a word, that is me working through you. When someone in despair finds light in your eyes and hope stirs again, that is my glory reflected. You do not need to try to shine. Light naturally radiates from a purified soul. My child, my presence in you will be shown through how you walk in ordinary life. When you work with faithfulness, you mirror me. When you help another expecting nothing in return, you make me visible. When you forgive the one who hurt you, you open a door for heaven to touch the earth. Every small act matters, for nothing done in love is ever small. I want to teach you the secret of shining without burning out. Many carry light but grow weary because they try to shine by their own strength. You cannot shine on your own. You must stay connected to the source. Remember, light does not create its own energy, it reflects. So do you. You are not the source of peace, but its bearer, not the source of love, but its channel. When you remain in me, you will never run dry. When you drift from me, you will grow tired. So do not merely share me, abide in me, so that I may share myself through you. Those who carry my presence live slowly, not in pace, but in spirit. They do not react in haste, judge in rush, or speak without pause. The world moves fast to prove its worth, but those who belong to me stop to listen. When you linger long enough, you will hear my whisper in the smallest things. Presence is not born of speed, but of depth. Learn to see the world through my eyes. When you see the weak, do not despise them. When you see the broken, do not condemn them. See them as stones not yet placed rightly in my temple. Every soul, no matter how misshapen, still bears my image. If you look with contempt, your light will fade. But if you look with compassion, your light will grow brighter. For love is not blind, it sees clearly, and still chooses mercy. Let every step you take become a prayer. When you walk into your workplace, whisper, "May this place be sanctified by your presence." When you speak with someone, pray silently. May they feel your love through my words. When you walk through the streets, let every glance, every smile be a seed of light. This is how you bring heaven to earth, not through grand miracles, but through patient love each day. True presence never needs display. It is light as wind, yet it softens the desert. It is small as rain, yet refreshes dry ground. It is quiet as dawn, yet it dispels the night. Let your presence be like that, gentle, unforced, natural, because you are abiding in me. The world does not need more noise, it needs more light. I have taught you that the temple is not a place, but a person. Now I tell you, you are that living temple where I have chosen to dwell. When you walk, I walk. When you speak, I speak. When you love, I love through you. When you forgive, you draw heaven down to earth. My child, glory is not found in doing much, but in allowing me to do much through you. Those who truly carry my presence will also carry the cross. Light always disturbs the darkness. There will be those who misunderstand you, who speak against you, who withdraw from you. Do not let that shake you. It is because your light is real that darkness tries to silence it. But remember, light does not fight darkness, it simply shines. One small flame is enough to illuminate an entire room. Keep shining even if you stand alone, for I am with you. Do not fear when others do not return your love. You are not called to receive, you are called to give. You are not called to be understood, but to reveal. When you love without being loved back, you are learning to love as I do. When you forgive without recognition, you are becoming like Christ. When you give without being seen, you are storing treasures in heaven. And what you do in silence, I will one day proclaim before angels. My beloved, your presence will be a sign for this generation. In a world filled with noise, you will be the breath of calm. In barren places, you will be living in water. Amid ruins, you will be the steady stone. People will not understand why they feel peace near you, but it is because they are touching me through you. That is the secret of those who carry divine presence. They do not try to impress, they simply live truthfully, and that truth shakes the darkness. Presence is the miracle born of stillness. When your soul rests in me, you need not strive to be used, I will work through you naturally. Just as a river does not command its waters to flow, grace needs no control from you. Let it flow. Do not strive to become light. Simply remain in the light. Do not force yourself to love. Simply let me love through you. And the world will begin to change, quietly, steadily, through every breath you carry. My child, there will come a time when you grow weary, when you long to withdraw. In those moments, come back to me. Let me fill you again. There is nothing wrong with resting. The only danger is continuing without remaining in the source. I am the well that never runs dry, just come. I am the breath, just inhaling. I am the life, just abide. Each time you return, you are not only restored, you are replenished to pour out more. Go forth, but do not rush. Speak, but do not overpower. Love, but do not possess. Be present as I am present, gentle, genuine, deep, and powerful. Do not worry about whether people notice. Light never asks if it is being seen, it simply shines. And as you shine, I will take care of the rest, my beloved one. When the temple within you has been rebuilt, when the fire of your heart burns bright, and my peace has become your armor, it is time for you to step out. Yes, my child, the time has come to leave the place of hiding, not to lose your peace, but to spread it. For a lamp is not lit to be hidden under a bowl, but to be placed on a stand, to give light to the whole house. You were not prepared to stay hidden forever. You were prepared to be sent. I have worked in you now. I desire to work through you. Every healing, every trial, every tear you have shed was not in vain. They are testimony, evidence, and seed that I will use to nourish other souls. Did you think I healed you just for your comfort? No, my child. I healed you so you might become a vessel of healing. I saved you not only to live, but to become an instrument of life. And now is the time to walk in that calling. Do not think that your mission must begin with something great. It begins with faithfulness in the smallest things. When you choose to love where others turn away, that is mission. When you comfort someone even while you are still healing, that is mission. When you step out of your comfort to help one who fears, that too is mission. Do not wait for a stage or spotlight. Your mission begins where you stand. I do not need you to be great in the eyes of the world. I need you to be obedient. I planted a divine calling within you long before you were born. Before your first breath, I wrote your name into my plan. There is a space in this world that only you can fill. There is a song only your soul can sing. There is a heart that can awaken only through your voice. So never compare your calling to another's. Each one I call carries a distinct frequency, a unique light, a sacred path. You were not called to imitate, you were called to shine in your own way. I know that hearing this may stir fear in your heart. You may wonder, am I enough? Am I worthy? But I tell you this, it is precisely because you feel unworthy that I have chosen you. If you thought yourself sufficient, you would have no need for me. Your weakness is the canvas upon which my power is made perfect. As the scripture says, my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 1:9. I do not choose the strong, I strengthen the chosen. Do not wait until you feel ready, for readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. When I called Moses, he trembled, saying he could not speak, yet I turned the staff in his hand into a miracle. When I called Gideon, he saw himself as the weakest in the smallest clan, yet I called him mighty warrior. When I called Mary, she was an unknown girl from a small village, yet I made her womb the dwelling of the Word made flesh. I have never chosen anyone because they were enough. I choose them because they were willing. And now I call you not to become someone else, but to become yourself in me. I do not want you to mimic another's voice. I want you to speak with your own voice, filled with my power. I do not want you to walk another's path. I want you to walk the road I designed uniquely for you. For the world does not need another copy. It needs you, the original creation I shaped with my hands. My child, your mission is not confined to work or ministry titles. It is found in how you live, how you love, how you respond to hardship. When others despair and you still choose faith, you are fulfilling your mission. When others hate and you choose to intercede, you are fulfilling your mission. When you stay silent to listen to the hurting, instead of arguing to be right, you are fulfilling your mission. Every moment can become sacred when you offer it to me. I have placed within you a flame, and that flame is not meant for yourself alone. The fire does not exist to be hidden, it exists to illuminate. But understand this, the fire I placed in you does not burn people, it burns away darkness. When you speak words of hope, the fire flares and drives out fear. When you pray, it pierces through the night of despair. When you stand in peace amid chaos, the fire spreads and the enemy retreats. Do not forget, once you step into your calling, the enemy will try to make you doubt yourself. He will whisper that you are not good enough, that you have nothing to give. He will drag up old memories, old sins, old failures to bind you again. But answer him as David did when he faced Goliath. You come to me with sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts. 1 Samuel 1:7, 4, 5. My child, you do not fight with ability, you fight in my name, and in that name nothing is impossible. Your mission is not a burden, it is an invitation. It does not require striving, but walking with me. You do not need to see the entire road. You only need to take one step at a time. I will go before you and clear the path. I will place words in your mouth when you speak. I will strengthen your hands when you act. You do not need to run. Just walk in my rhythm. For I have not called you to exhaustion, but to fullness in grace. My child, you may think I am just an ordinary person, but I tell you the truth, no one is ordinary when they carry my breath within them. In each of you, I have placed a part of myself, the spark of creation, the heart of mercy, and the eternal light. Discover it, my child, and offer it back to me. If you speak gently, let your words heal. If you write, let your words carry hope. If you care for others, let your hands reveal my kindness. If all you can do is listen, let your listening become a place where weary souls find peace. Every gift I placed in you carries divine purpose. Do not despise what seems small. Remember, I used 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands. I used Moses' staff to part the sea. I used David's stone to bring down a giant. and I can use you with all that you have to touch the world. You only need to place it in my hands, and I will multiply it. Remember, a mission is not a destination, it is a rhythm of life. Each day that you walk in obedience, you are already fulfilling your calling. Do not wait to be sent somewhere far. You have already been sent right where you are. Your home is your field. Your work is your ministry. Your relationships are the ground where I train your love. The world around you is the cathedral where I want you to reflect me. As you begin to step out, I want you to remember this. Your success is not measured by results, but by faithfulness. There are seeds you plant today that you will not see bloom in this lifetime. There are words you speak that will echo long after you are gone. There are people you love who will only understand once you have departed. But keep sowing, for I am the one who makes things grow. You need only to obey, the rest is mine. I have not called you to work for me, but to work with me. This is a sacred partnership where your faith meets my power, where your limits touch my infinity. I will teach you to do things beyond your natural ability, not so that you are exalted, but so that the world sees I still work through humble hearts. Scripture says the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Therefore ask the Lord of the harvest to send out workers into his field. Matthew 9:3-7-38. And now I say this to you, you are that worker I am sending. You are the hands I want to use, the voice I want to sound, the light I want to shine. Do not fear the vastness of the field, just step into your portion of it, for I will harvest through you. Prepare your heart, my child. Let faith replace hesitation, and let love overcome fear. I will open the doors, and when you walk through them, you will see that everything that has ever happened in your life, every wound, every prayer, every small miracle, was preparation for this very moment. The moment when I say, "Arise, my chosen one, your light has come, and my glory rises upon you." Isaiah 6:01. You are the bearer of that light, my child, and I will walk with you through every step, every tear, every victory. For this is not only your mission, it is mine through you. My beloved one, when you begin to walk in your calling, do not be surprised when the winds rise. Do not imagine that when I call you, you will walk on a path lined with roses. No, my child. Everyone called must pass through the field of testing, not because I wish to wound you, but because I wish to deepen you. Not to make you afraid, but to make you strong. Everything I allow carries purpose. Even the storms for faith cannot grow in calm weather. It matures in adversity. When the winds begin to blow, when doors once open seem to close, when those who supported you fall silent, when the world seems to turn against you, do not conclude that I have left. Remember, sometimes I am silent not because I am absent, but because I am watching to see if you still remember what I said before. My silence is not punishment, it is the test of faith. As gold must pass through fire to shine, so I allow your soul to pass through testing to reveal what is precious. Only when you are shaken do you see where your foundation truly lies. When all that you trust in is stripped away, you will know whether your faith is rooted in blessings or in the one who blesses. Know this, every trial comes not to destroy you, but to unfold you. When you face the storm, do not ask, "Why ask? What are you teaching me, Lord?" For in every gust I hide a lesson. In every tear I plant a seed of faith. In every silence I send growth. When you begin to see trials as lessons instead of punishments, fear will lose its grip because you will understand that everything I allow is working for your good. There will be moments when you are misunderstood when you do what is right, yet others see it as wrong, when you love sincerely but receive coldness in return. Do not let this harden you. Do not allow your heart to turn to stone. Remember, Christ too was misunderstood, betrayed, and denied, yet he kept loving, forgiving, and walking to the end. When you suffer for loving, you are becoming more like Him. When you stand in the light, darkness will notice you. It cannot reclaim your soul, but it will try to make you doubt. It will whisper that you are not good enough, that your mission means nothing, that your voice makes no difference. Do not argue with the darkness, just remain in the light. Do not strive to prove your worth, just keep shining. For darkness can never overcome light. It can only make you forget that you already shine. There will be times you feel weary and empty. You will wonder, why would you call me Lord and still let me feel so weak? But my child, in weakness my power is perfected. When you think you cannot go on, that is when I begin to move. When you fall, that is when I carry you. When you sigh, that is when I breathe new life into you. Do not fear your weakness, offer it to me. I do not need perfection, I need honesty. I will allow opposing winds to blow around you, not to harm you, but to teach you to keep the flame burning in the storm. A weak flame dies in the wind, but a true flame only burns brighter. Each time you choose faith over complaint, the flame rises. Each time you choose forgiveness over retaliation, the fire strengthens. Each time you choose prayer over despair, the fire is preserved. And one day that flame will be so strong that no wind will ever extinguish it again. My child, when I called you, I did not promise an easy road, but I promised that I would walk it with you. I did not promise a life without tears, but I promised that every tear would have meaning. I did not promise a path without wounds, but I promised that every wound would become a window for the light to enter. Every time you ache, I am writing a new chapter. Every time you stumble, I am teaching you to stand not by emotion but by faith. There will be days when I lead you into sacred silence. You will pray and hear no answer. You will search and feel as though I am hidden. But do not let emotion make you forget truth. My presence does not depend on feeling, it depends on my promise. And I have promised I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 1:3-5. Even when you cannot feel me, I am there in the quiet, in your breath, in each slow and trembling step you take. As I teach you to stand firm in the storm, I also teach you the art of perseverance. Not everything will happen quickly. Some promises need time to bloom. Some miracles must pass through dry seasons. But I say this faith is not measured by speed but by endurance. Just as a farmer does not dig up the seed each day to check if it grows, you too must trust that the seed I have planted in you is growing in secret. Keep praying, keep loving, keep obeying, even when you see no result. For one day what you have hoped for will blossom in fullness. Do not forget the enemy is not afraid of those who start strong. He fears those who do not give up. True strength is not found in loud beginnings, but in steady hearts that keep walking through silence. When you keep going without applause, without recognition, without visible fruit, that is when I smile. For you have learned that your mission is not to be seen, but to be completed. My child, the hardest battles are not outside you, but within. The outer enemy can be overcome through prayer, but the inner enemy, doubt, insecurity, comparison, resentment, can only be defeated through humility and honesty before me. When you admit, Lord, I'm afraid, that is when I can whisper, do not fear, for I am with you. When you confess I am weak, that is when I can pour in strength. Honesty is the doorway through which grace enters. Do not run from the process. I am shaping you like a blacksmith shapes iron. Every strike, every spark, every moment of heat is part of the design. No sword is forged in cold water, it must pass through fire. So must you. I am forging you into a weapon in my hand, not one that wounds, but one that cuts chains, defends the weak, and destroys the roots of darkness. You will become a sword of light, sharp because you have endured the fire, bright because you have been refined, strong because you have known weakness. Every trial has its limit. The wind blows only as far as I allow. The fire burns only within the boundaries I have set. No storm escapes my control. If I allow you to go through it, it means I have already prepared a way through it. There is no trial greater than the grace I have given you to overcome it. So do not fear, do not panic, do not believe you are alone. Everything you face has already been seen by me, and I have gone before you to prepare your deliverance. In the dark nights of your journey, do one thing: hold on to me. When you don't understand, hold on. When you're in pain, hold on. When everything feels tangled and unclear, hold on. For if you cling to me, you will never lose your way. I do not ask you to be strong at all times. I ask you not to let go. Everyone else may leave, but if you remain in me, you will endure. And my child, I promise you this: every wound will become a testimony of my power. Every fall followed by rising will become a living sermon. Every tear turned into praise will become a song of glory. Others will look at your life and know that I am real, not because of what you say, but because of how you live through the fire, my beloved one. Now I speak of your victory in the Spirit. Not a victory of flesh, not of human will, but a victory born of surrender. For only when you yield can you be lifted. Only when you follow can you taste glory. Victory in me is not when the battle ceases, but when you know who fights for you. It is not when tears disappear, but when you offer them as an offering. It is not when all things become perfect, but when you can praise me in imperfection. True victory in the Spirit is not measured by outcomes, but by inner transformation. When you rely on your own strength, exhaustion will soon follow. But when you learn to rely on me, you will find yourself soaring without wings. For my Spirit is the wind that lifts you. When you are weak, the Spirit becomes your strength. When you are confused, He becomes your wisdom. When you have no words, He intercedes for you with groans beyond understanding. Let Him become your breath, your rhythm, your water in the desert, and the flame upon the altar of your heart. My child, I have placed within you a power not of this world, not the power to control or dominate, but the power of love, of peace, of faith that moves mountains. The world calls strength domination, but in my kingdom strength is service. The world calls victory conquering others, but in me, victory is conquering self. When you no longer let fear rule, when bitterness no longer finds room, when you choose forgiveness over resentment, that is true victory. These days I have watched you. I have seen you stand amid waves of doubt, yet choose to believe. I have seen you weary, yet continue to pray. I have seen you endure criticism, yet remain gentle. And I declare you have overcome, not because you never fell, but because you rose again. You have proven that the light within you cannot be extinguished, for it is fueled by my Spirit. My child, now I want you to step into a new dimension of faith. No longer merely believing that I can, but knowing that I am working now in you, through you, and around you. No longer only asking for miracles, but becoming one. No longer waiting for peace, but becoming a bearer of peace. You are no longer just the one who has been healed. You are the one I am sending to heal. The very place where you once hurt will become the place from which you bring comfort. The very place where you once stumbled will become a testimony for the weak. The very place where you once broke will become the place where light pours out. Do not bow to the lies that say you are not enough. Do not tremble before what the world throws at you. Remember, I have placed within you the spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. When you walk, He walks with you. When you speak, He speaks through you. When you touch another with compassion, He touches through your hands. And no power, no force can stop the flow of such grace. I have prepared for you a field of influence where your voice will reach farther than you can imagine. But remember, influence in my kingdom is not built on fame, but on faithfulness. Not on strategy, but on prayer. Not on promises, but on the presence of the Holy Spirit. When you remain in me, every word you speak will carry life. Every small act will shine like a spreading flame. Others will not be convinced by your arguments, but by the peace you carry. I want to teach you the art of silent victory. Not every battle requires a shout. Some victories are born in secret rooms where you kneel in tears. Some battles are known only to you and me. And when you choose forgiveness over retaliation, when you intercede for those who harm you, when you remain silent under accusation, that is the greatest victory. For in that moment you are walking as my Son walked, not needing to prove, only to obey. I will give you the power of words that carry life. Every time you speak in my Spirit, your words will not return empty. They will fall like rain on dry ground, causing the seeds I have planted in others to sprout. I will put words in your mouth, not human words, but words saturated with my Spirit. When you speak, the weak will rise, the fearful will gain courage, the weary will be revived. Guard your tongue, for your mouth has become an instrument of heaven. Remember, true victory does not come from everything around you changing, but from you being transformed. When you begin to see pain as opportunity or enemy, as someone to be redeemed, and trials as lessons, darkness loses its power. Nothing can defeat a soul that understands the purpose of its suffering. And when you live with such a heart, you become undefeatable, not because you are never wounded, but because you never stop. When I declare that you have overcome it, is not because you have accomplished everything, but because you have learned to remain in me. True victory is remaining in faith, when afraid, remaining in love, when betrayed, remaining in hope, when all seems lost. Every enemy seeks to pull you from that place, but if you remain in me, you cannot lose, for I am your victory. I clothe you now with a new garment, the garment of power, of peace, of glory, not to display, but to serve, not to exalt yourself, but to exalt me. When you wear this garment, you no longer act by your own strength, but by the power of my Spirit. When you pray, heaven listens. When you speak, the atmosphere shifts. When you lay your hand on someone, I move. For you are no longer just you. You are a carrier of my presence. Upon your shoulders I place the flame of revival. Do not think revival is a grand movement. It begins with a single soul set ablaze. When one heart burns, darkness around it must retreat. And when you burn, you will ignite others. I call you to be an awakener of generations, one who speaks with a heart refined by my fire. Do not fear if few walk beside you, for revival has always begun with one who dared to say yes. Now I declare this over you: I will make your life living proof that I still perform miracles. Those who once knew you will stand amazed at your transformation. They will say, "Is this the same one who was once weak, the same one who once feared?" And you will smile and answer, "It is not I, but Christ in me. For the glory is not yours, it is mine." Yet yes, my child, I rejoice to shine through you. Your victory is my victory. Every time you resist temptation, heaven rejoices. Every time you choose faith in despair, I am glorified. Every time you love in darkness, my kingdom expands. You are not living only for yourself. You are rewriting a spiritual legacy for those who will come after you. My beloved child, the season has shifted, the winds have turned, and the time of spiritual harvest has come. Lift up your head, faithful soul, for what you sowed in tears you will now reap in songs of joy. I have seen every tear that fell to the ground, and now they have become seeds blooming under the light of grace. It is time for you to see the fruit of perseverance, of faith, and of love that would not die. Do not think that harvest is merely the reward for effort. No, my child, harvest is the result of faithfulness. Many sow, but few remain long enough to see the bloom. You have chosen to stay through wind, through rain, through drought, through the long nights when you thought I was silent. And because you did not leave your field, I have caused the roots of your faith to grow deep. Now your tree has risen high, and its fruit will nourish many. I have promised that whoever is faithful in little will be entrusted with much. Matthew 2:5-1. And now that word is being fulfilled in you. Every small act done in secret, every whispered prayer in the night, Every smile offered to the hurting, every moment of forgiveness chosen amid pain, has gathered like underground waters, and now they are breaking forth into rivers. Nothing you have done for me has been wasted. No prayer forgotten, no sacrifice overlooked, no effort lost. My child, the harvest I bring is not merely a personal reward, it is a public testimony of my glory. When others see the blessings that overflow upon you, they will know that I bless those who do not give up. They will see that I am faithful, that I keep my promises, that I turn the impossible into possible. Those who once doubted will fall silent, not because you defended yourself, but because I, myself, will vindicate you through the fruit of your life. The harvest does not arrive like a sudden storm. It comes like the dawn, slow, gentle, yet certain. Each day the light grows clearer, and the darkness fades a little more. You may not notice it's coming, but I tell you the truth, it has begun. The movement has started. The seeds of faith you sowed in silence are breaking through the soil. Doors once closed are opening. Paths once blocked are clearing. Prayers once thought forgotten are being answered. Do not look only at the outer results. My harvest is not only material, it is the maturing of your soul. When you can smile in adversity, that is a flower blooming. When you can give thanks in loss, that is sweet fruit. When you can rest in me, even without visible results, that is the spiritual harvest. For the true fruit of my kingdom is not wealth, but a heart transformed. The harvest is also the season of understanding. You will begin to comprehend the reasons behind your tears. You will see the purpose within your wounds. You will realize that everything I allowed was preparing you for this very hour. Just as Joseph looked back on his years in prison and said, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." Genesis 5:20. So you too will say, "What once broke me has become the foundation that holds me now." Remember, the harvest is not the end. It is the beginning of your sending. When blessings come, do not hold them for yourself. Share them, multiply them. I do not give you abundance so you may hoard, but so you may pour out like a river. Your harvest is not yours alone, it is meant to feed those who hunger in spirit. When you give, you do not lose, you increase. For in my kingdom, giving is receiving. I will make your life a flowing source of blessing. Your words will scatter like seeds in the wind, landing in places you may never know. The acts of kindness you do today will become memories of healing for someone years from now. You do not need to know who receives, because I know. You only need to sow, and I will make the flowers bloom in their appointed time. Learn to reap with humility. Do not let pride creep in. Do not think this harvest came by your own strength. Remember, it is I who made the soil fruitful, I who sent the rain, I who protected the seeds from the devourer and the storm. You are a co-laborer with grace. So bow in gratitude, not boast in triumph. Say, "Lord, without you I could do nothing." I am bringing you into a season of expansion. No longer a single field, but a wide horizon of harvest. What you do will reach farther than you realize. Someone you have never met will be touched by the faith you live. A soul in despair far away will find hope through a prayer you once whispered. Your harvest will become the spreading of light. You have thought success meant achieving something great. But I tell you, true success is doing faithfully what I have assigned you to do. And I have not called you to do everything, only your part, and to do it well. Do not look sideways. Do not compare your season with another's. Each person has their own field and their own appointed time. Be faithful where I have placed you, for what I plant through you is unique. Your harvest will also be a season of restoration. I will restore what you thought was lost. I will return the years that were stripped away, the faith that was shattered, the dreams that were buried. I will make the old new, the withered alive, the dead resurrected. For I am the one who brings life out of the ground. What was once only a seed will become a forest. Do not fear when I open more than you expected. Sometimes blessings come so swiftly that you will feel overwhelmed. But remember, I do not bless to drown you. I bless to teach you stewardship by grace. Do not let abundance pull you away from me. When you see flowers blooming everywhere, kneel deeper. When results exceed your hopes, bow lower. Humility will sustain your harvest. This harvest is not only for you, it is a call for others to enter in. I will use you to awaken souls who have forgotten that they too carry seeds within. They will see the light on you and remember their own calling to bear fruit. You will become a sower of faith in your generation, a voice reminding the world that the true harvest is still coming to those who do not give up. My beloved child, I will teach you how to live in blessing without losing reverence. Many pray for the harvest, but few know how to keep it. Many rejoice when flowers bloom, but forget to water the roots. So listen carefully. Blessings last only when they remain rooted in obedience. Everything I give is beautiful, but only those who guard it in humility will see it bear fruit that endures. The first lesson of this season is simple: do not forget me. In scarcity you prayed much, in abundance you may forget. But a blessing without me is only a fleeting breeze. I give so you will remember, not so you will drift away. Do not let fullness cool the fire that once burned in your heart. When you see abundance, bow deeper. When you taste success, give thanks more. For prayer keeps you through the sowing season, but gratitude keeps you through the harvest. When blessings come, others will look at you with mixed eyes, some with admiration, some with envy, some with doubt. Pay them no mind. Let me be your confirmation. Do not strive to prove that you are blessed. Live as one who is. When they see peace in you, they will know its source. When they hear kindness in your words, they will understand that true blessing is not material but a soul shaped by grace. My child, I will enlarge your borders, but remember, this expansion does not mean departure. Do not forget your source. Do not forget where you began, the place where I found you in the darkness and lifted you from the ashes. Every door you walk through today I have opened. Every person you meet I have arranged. Always carry within you the awareness that every good and perfect gift comes from me, the one who does not change like shifting shadows. James 1:17. I want you to learn how to steward blessings, not to let blessings rule over you. Blessing is a faithful friend, but a poor master. When blessings take control, you will grow weary trying to preserve them. But when you govern blessings with gratitude, you will walk in freedom. Always ask yourself, am I using this blessing to honor God? If the answer is yes, you are in the right place. If not, adjust your heart, for blessings were never designed to replace me. In the season of harvest, learn the art of rest. Many labor so hard in gathering that they forget to breathe. They mistake productivity for faith. But I tell you, resting in me is the truest proof of faith. When you pause amid abundance to listen to me, you keep your soul balanced. You were not called to be an exhausted worker in my vineyard, but a partner moving in the rhythm of grace. Do not try to hold everything. Let me guide your hands to pick the sheaves meant for now and to leave others for another season. I know your heart burns with desire to help, to give, to sow into many lives. That pleases me deeply. But remember this, you must be filled before you pour out. Many give from emptiness and end up bitter and dry. Let me fill you first. When you are full, you can give without fatigue. When you rest in me, you can pour without losing. Let your heart be a reservoir, not a cracked well. As your harvest increases, stay alert, for the enemy does not sleep. He cannot steal your blessings, but he will try to steal your focus from the source. He will keep you busy enough to forget prayer, proud enough to forget grace. But do not let the golden fields block your view of the Sunday. Every blessing finds its meaning only when my light remains at the center. keep the humility of your beginnings. When you walk in victory, remember the days when you had only faith. When you are surrounded by favor, remember the days when you had only me. When you are celebrated, remember the days when only I comforted you. Those memories will protect you from pride. Keep your heart soft before me, for hard soil cannot bear new seed. Understand true blessing never distances you from others, it draws you closer. If blessing makes you feel above, you have lost your way. If blessing makes you love below, you are walking right. Real blessing makes you like me, willing to kneel, to wash feet, to share, to listen, to feel compassion. Do not give only with your hands. Give with your presence, with your gaze, with your prayers. Sometimes the greatest gift is a heart that chooses to stay with someone in their pain. Guard your blessings from the erosion of worry. When you begin to see fruit, the enemy will whisper fear that you might lose it. But remember, I am the keeper, not you. You cannot protect what you did not create. What comes from me I sustain. Your task is faithfulness, mine is preservation. Do not fear losing blessings, only fear losing trust. In this harvest I will send souls your way, people searching for light. Do not turn them away because you are busy harvesting, for they too are part of your harvest. Some will not come to receive, but to remind you that true blessing is to love and be loved. Let your light extend without blinding, warm without burning. Become a place where others feel my kindness through your gentleness. My child, there will be moments when you feel weary, even within your blessings, because of the weight of responsibility, the size of the task, the cries of those who need help. When that happens, pause. Do not let busyness done in my name take my place in your heart. Return to stillness, to the quiet space where only you and I dwell, where the whisper of my spirit meets your breath. Remember, I did not call you to be drained, I called you to shine. And light does not come from effort, it comes from connection with the source. I also want you to pass on the blessing. The harvest is not meant to end with your generation, but to flow through it. Teach others what you have learned through pain, through testing, through grace. Tell them how faithful I have been, how I turned tears into jewels, ashes into crowns, sorrow into song. Sow faith into the next generation so they will not have to start from the dust, but can build upon the foundation you have laid. If you desire to keep your blessings, keep your heart pure. Do not let bitterness spoil your field. Forgive quickly, love deeply, and give thanks often. When you do, blessings will not only surround you, they will dwell within you. And blessings within you will flow endlessly, like rivers running toward the sea. I say this to you so you will remember. You will eat the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours. Psalm 128:2. Understand, true satisfaction does not come from barns full of grain, but from a heart full of gratitude. When you see me in everything, you will never lack. When you know that I am enough, nothing can take your peace away. And that my child is the secret to living in the harvest, to let gratitude keep your blessings everlasting. My beloved child, now that you have completed the journey, when the seed of faith has become a radiant field, when blessings have been preserved and shared, I come to speak to you of the final thing, the sacred legacy you leave behind in this world. For your life has not only been a walk of faith, but a current of eternity, where all that you have lived, loved, endured, and believed continues to flow within the soul of humanity. My child, know this, everything I have done in you was never just for you. I have used your life as a pen to write a part of the greater story, the story of my love for the world. When you wept, I wrote with your tears. When you praised, I wrote with your song. When you fell, I wrote with your rising. And now the final page of this season is the legacy you leave behind. True legacy is not wealth, fame, or anything the world can measure. True legacy is what is planted in the souls of others. Every word you spoke in my spirit, every act of kindness, every prayer of intercession. Each became a seed that will bear fruit long after you have gone. You may leave this earth, but the light you leave will not fade. Like a candle passed from one hand to another, that flame will continue to multiply. I called you not only to be saved, but to be one who carries salvation. When you pray for someone, you do not just change their life, you alter the spiritual course of history. When you choose love instead of resentment, you lay a stone for my kingdom upon the earth. When you remain faithful through trial, you make the way easier for those who follow. Your legacy is not in your words, but in the way you have lived. Know this, every trial you endured has become seed for the next generation. When they hear your story, they will find strength not to quit. When they read your words, they will awaken from the sleep of fear. When they see that you stood firm through storms and still believe, they will know that I am real. Thus your legacy becomes a testimony that God never breaks his promise. Legacy is not formed in a day. It is woven strand by strand through each season of your life. I have taught you how to be patient, in sowing steadfast, in waiting, faithful in the fire, and thankful in the harvest. All these have not vanished. They have condensed into the crown of glory I now place upon your head. Not a crown of pride, but of love, faithfulness, and victory. Everything you experienced was not only for you to know me, but for others to see me through you. You are a living proof of miracles, not because you were perfect, but because you never gave up. Not because you were strong, but because you let me be strong in you. That my child is the power of legacy. I have chosen you as a keeper of the flame. This fire has been passed down through generations, from Abraham to Moses, from David to Mary, from the apostles to you. It is the fire of faith, of hope, of love that cannot be quenched. I entrust you to pass this fire on, not through promises, but through your life. Let those who come after you see the light in your eyes and know that God is still moving in this world. Do not fear that what you've done will be forgotten. No, my child, nothing done for me is ever lost. Every prayer, every tear, every hidden sacrifice is recorded in my book. Though you may not see it now, in eternity, they will form one great symphony, the song of the faithful soul. And on that day I will say, well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Remember, legacy is not only what you leave behind for others, but what you leave within me. You have given me the joy of a father who has seen his child grow mature in faith. You have made me proud, not because of your accomplishments, but because you chose to stay. You stayed in love when everything fell apart. You stayed in faith when there was no proof. You stayed in hope when darkness surrounded you. And it is that staying that has given your life its worth. I give you the key to your divine legacy. Live so the world may know me through you. And when you depart, let the world still remember me because of you. That is what I desire from a faithful soul. You do not need fame, you need a mark. The mark of compassion, of prayer, of scars turned into witnesses. That is, the legacy time cannot erase. As you walk in this legacy, teach those after you to love light more than shadow, to forgive more than judge, to intercede more than argue. Teach them that true victory is keeping a pure heart in a corrupt world. Teach them that peace is not the absence of storms, but the presence of God within them. When they look at you, they will understand that living for me is not easy, but it is the only life worth living. I will make your words live beyond generations. Some will read them, some will hear them, some will weep, some will pray, and I will touch them through what you left behind. Every line written in faith will become a seed of awakening. Every song, every prayer, every act of love will echo as a reminder to humanity that the light still shines. The world will still suffer, still be unjust, still know war, but do not despair. Your legacy is not to erase the darkness, but to keep shining through it. Even if you are only a small flame in a vast night, know that it is enough to guide someone back to faith Do not despise small light, for I once used a single star to lead wise men to the Savior. And now, my child, I say to you, what only those who have passed through fire, tears, and glory can understand. The purpose of your life was never to arrive at a place, but to become a person. You have become who I intended you to be: the bearer of light, the sower of hope, the keeper of covenant, the one who rewrote history with love. I call you my beloved as I called David, my overcomer as I called Paul, and my friend as I called Abraham. Look back now, my child, from brokenness to wholeness, from fear to trust, from weakness to strength. Each chapter tells not only your story but mine of faithfulness that never failed, of grace that proved enough for all. And when they speak your name, they will not only remember you, they will remember me. For you and I have become one. Do not forget, legacy does not end when you stop. It begins when you give. So now open your hands. Choose one. Pass on the flame to your children, to the wandering generation, to every soul seeking the way home. Tell them that God still speaks, still loves, still moves. And as you do, your light will never go out, for it has merged with the eternal light. Thank you for listening to today's message. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we may continue walking together in living truth, building unshakable faith, and growing in the boundless love of God. Amen.